Good morning, everyone. And as you know, I did say that we would look at the skin in more detail. I can't speak this morning. We will look at it in more detail. So that's what we're going to do. So obviously, the skin's actually really, really important. And I know that there's a lot of people that actually probably don't understand everything that it does for us. You know, it's our vitamin D. It's the largest organ and the first line of defense for its internal sort of organs as bones and things, protecting all of that. Now, it also protects us from the sunlight, even though, of course, we need our UVA creams now, but the idea was the skin was protecting against that too. And as you can read, it's right there in front of you. Regulates body temperature. Now it secretes sebum, which is a natural moisturizer, but it also gets rid of the waste through the pores, because you see there's excretion and secretion, and it's different. It's different. The natural moisturizer, the sebum, is when you see someone's skin shining and that's too oily. It's not because they're not washing the skin, guys, because do you know how many people say, oh, yeah, well, I got bullied for my skin because it was this and they thought it was dirty and I wasn't washed. It's nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. These blackheads, you know, the spots, all that kind of stuff, it's nothing to do with that unless they're actually, you know, not washing their face and sleeping outside and rolling in muck. No, it really isn't. And even mud is good for your skin. So I actually use, it's can I explain it? So it's natural mud, but it has sea kelp in it. And I use that to make masks as well because it's so nice on the skin, honestly. It's so relaxing. So as you can see, it does a lot of things. It regulates a lot of things for us. As sensors, we need a skin, you know, for sensing. Yeah, it's in his nerves, but it still comes through the skin regardless. So the layers. So we have three sort of main layers that people usually talk about, which are, this is pronounced epidermis. That's your top layer of skin that you see. Then there's the dermis and the subcutaneous layer. It's got a few names actually, hypodermis layer and the fatty layer. You can call it either one of those. That's your spongy layer, you know. It's the one that protects you when you bang yourself, when you bounce back, sort of thing. It's kind of like that. But in your epidermis, there are 5 layers to it. In your dermis, which is just after the epidermis's 5 layers, there's 2 layers and only one at the bottom subcutaneous layer. They're all stratums. Obviously, it is Latin. I do have A levels in anatomy and physiology, and you will find most of everything is in Latin when you do it anyway. So we have stratum corneum, stratum spinosum, stratum granulosum, stratum lucidium, and stratum gemmivatum. And basically that right there is the natural process of regeneration of the keratin. And the keratin, yes, is our nails, it is our hair, but yes, it's also our skin. Now, the stratum lucidum, is called that because I guess it's classed as the clear layer, the see-through layer. Now, that sounds a little daft, but that's why I'm explaining it. The skin's much thinner, missing out the above layers, and it's the skin that you find on your hands and on your feet. Think about how much we do with our hands and you know, the walking and what we wear on his feet. So yeah, it just goes to the stratum lucidum. It doesn't go any further. Now the dermis, which is the second layer, has the papilla and the reticular layer. Now that's where the nerves are. Obviously they go up into the epidermis, but they come from the actual dermis. Then your fatty layer, which is all your sponge. Yes, like I said, it protects you when you absorb. That's why when you bang your elbow, it hurts so much. Because that bit of your elbow there's no fatty layer on it to protect it. So bear that in mind when you bang a funny bone and it's not funny. Without our fatty layer, that's what you'd be feeling everywhere. And as you can see there, it tells you. And there's a picture of the skin and the layers. Please don't laugh at my drawing. So as you can see, that's the fatty layer, subcutaneous layer at the bottom. At the top, all across, we have the epidermis. There's the hair growing from the follicle. Now, if you follow the hair down, you'll see a sweat gland. But there's also a sebaceous gland. The sweat gland it excretes the waste. The sebaceous gland, well, obviously that's the sebum. And then if you look at the nerves, how they're in the dermal section, but they go up and out into the epidermis. There we go. There's a better diagram for you so you can see. If you look at bottom, the subcutaneous, it's where your collagen and everything is, where your see, I don't like that word anti-aging, but it's the aging process. As you can see, your sweat pore, your nerve ending, it's all right there. And then obviously, free radicals, as we know, really does affect the skin as well as internal. I mean, it affects a lot. And you're looking at pollution, environmental factors, smoking, it's all right there, you know, UAV, all that has a different effect on our skin. So, do you actually know your skin type? Let me show you. Those are the various skin types in which you can have. Now, some of these come under a type category and some of them come under subtype. It just depends who's learning you and where you are learning it. So there's your dry skin. As you can see, it's lacking oil, it's dull, tight, flaky, it'll have a matte appearance, prone to milia and premature aging. Milia are the little white spots under your skin. The reason they are white is because they are not oxidized. They are under the skin, they have not met oxygen. The blackheads, the only reason they're black is because they have reacted with the oxygen. They have touched the outside of the skin, that's turned them that colour. So yeah, nothing to do with dirt at all, like some people think. Oily skin has usually larger pores, shiny appearance, overactive sebaceous gland, prone to blemishes, blackheads and pimples, again, due to the sebum, nothing else. Men's skin, and yes, ladies, this is true, it is slightly different because it is thicker. Yes, it can be oilier, but usually it's only in the teens you'll see that, and then it gets better and they age better because it is thicker. Yeah. Normal skin is like your Hollywood skin. I very rarely see it. It is quite rare to find a normal skin because everything's just completely balanced. Nothing wrong with it. It's like a wow skin. It's your baby skin, you know. And this is your acne. Now, your vulgaris is a hormonal imbalance, usually, overactive sebaceous gland, reduced natural exfoliation, and you'll find scarring because obviously there'll have been more. The rosacea is more of a redness. It can be chronic, it can be really bad, and when it's chronic, you have broken capillaries and they appear like little, they can be red lines or purple lines, and they're really, really tiny and they're all together. Kind of looks like thread veins, you know, little veins on your skin, and it'll be hypersensitive. Now, some rosacea is not that bad, and it will be sensitive, but you won't get the broken capillaries or anything. It all really does vary. So, dehydrated. So this is your skin cells lacking water. It'll have fine lines and wrinkles that are more noticeable because the cellular function of the skin is reduced. Sensitive skin is usually thin, translucent, reactive because it reacts to quite a lot of things. It'll be tight and you'll be able to see because it'll look like it's got a good structure to it, but it's prone to broken capillaries, which you'll see on the skin again. You'll be able to see them because the skin's quite thin. So now the protective barrier, which is obviously lipids, it keeps it hydrated, firm and soft. A good lipid barrier prevents water loss, naturally moisturizes and keeps out bacteria and germs. So that's why we would use a protective barrier with lipids, because if you have dehydrated skin, it's going to put that moisture in. If you have dry skin, it's going to put that moisture in. Your combination skin is more than one place with a different skin type. As I explained, it's a T-zone. Your T-zone is your forehead, your nose, and your chin, because it makes a T. Usually they'll be oily there and dry on dehydrated on the cheeks. Obviously, mature aging, you know, it's uneven tone and it's like more sallow, usually becomes kind of like a yellow colour. It becomes thinner, drier, and the elasticity is lost and the firmness is lost. This is because of the collagen and elastin, which are proteins in the skin working together to prevent wrinkles. Now, there is no such thing as anti-aging. It drives me crazy when they put it on all these creams in the shops, right? If you use skincare from a young age, you can use all natural products all of your life. It'll be fine. This is just kind of like some information saying, obviously, don't use makeup wipes despite what you think. There's the information right there. I mean, if you still choose to, that's fine. Obviously, don't use soap on your skin because of its pH levels, just not right for the skin. Now, you see, now I would say though, there are some natural ones out there called face soaps. Those are okay because it's completely different. I know people that have sort of coal tar soap as well for different things. I'm talking about like, I don't know, going in shop, buying a bar of double and just putting it on your face, you know. It's something you really don't want to do. It's just not good for your skin. And then there's your SP information, just to be sure that you realise it's really important for your skin to be protected against the heat, the sun's rays, should I say. And there below you have your cleanse, your buff, tone, serum, eye cream, moisturiser, and your sun factor. And as you can see, we do that kind of every morning. Excuse me, guys, but not so much every night with the buffering and obviously the sun cream. When cleansing, small circular movements upwards are absolutely the best. You want to work into all the crevices, you want to take your time, and warm water, definitely. Facial sponges are very good. Now, you can sterilise your facial sponges in Milton. They're not expensive. You can go online and grab them fairly cheap. Once you've used them, wash them out, soak them in Milton for probably 6 to 12 hours, depending, and they're sterilised to reuse again, which saves cotton wool, because if you're using cotton wool or cotton pads, obviously, a lot of wastage in that. When you can have two facial sponges, $2.99, and you can actually sterilise them and reuse them. So your buffing powder, it really honestly is just exfoliation. The difference is with the buffing powder, it's a lot finer and you can use it every morning. It's really good for the skin circulation. It's good if you've got sort of dry skin, because it's going to get rid of the dry areas. For a proper exfoliation once a week, you would use something a bit more grittier, but buffing powder can definitely be used every morning. If you have dry skin, it's especially good. It's going to clear that up straight away. Well, within like 3 days, which is not bad really, depending on what you use. It will reduce congestion. It's a smoother base of makeup, as you can see. Now, the facial brush here is something that it is exfoliating, it is deep cleansing. I'm not going to lie to you though. It depends which one you're looking at, because there are some out there that are horrendous and they are very hard and they do more damage than good. I would personally, if you're not going to go and buy an expensive one, and this is the truth, or one that's sort of decent and pick up a 99p, don't do it. Please don't. I've seen the effects. I've seen people pick up cheap ones and it's ripped their skin to shreds. Like, yeah, you can't see it when they've got the makeup on, but when they take the makeup off, you can see all the little scratches on the skin and it's not nice. Honestly, you are better off just using what we are given. Our hands. Absolutely. Best thing. Now, your toner, it's obviously, I like using toner because I like the spray. So I'll let you read that if you want, because it does tighten the pores, etc. And it absorbs right into the skin, so it's really beneficial. So it is good to use it, I suppose, directly on the skin and then wash it off. I personally, I do prefer the sprays in the spray bottles, because you can make your own with rose water, orange flower water, lavender water, whatever. And all it is, you know, the product, herbal flowers, for example, or your orange flower water you can buy, and you can buy your rose water, you can buy it all, but you can make it too from your own flowers or plants. And then it's just purified water in a spray bottle, and then just spray it as and when needed. So I do prefer it that way rather than buying a toner and putting it on my skin, yes. Now, serum. It's going to advertise serum because it's good at night. Now, serum's particularly good for, obviously, anti-aging. It's going to work into the skin overnight and it's going to moderate everything, protect it. It can possibly even bring back some bounce to the skin, you know, from firmness. Now, it says it helps with dull skin. Yeah, I think it can do if it's used over a period of time. Now, I have a company that I had to use once because I had a bad experience with something and I used a serum. And I'll tell you something now. I thought my skin was going to be damaged and scarred for the rest of my life. It wasn't with that. It worked. So if you're sort of mature skin, if you've got dry skin, then yeah, you would benefit from a serum. But I'm going to tell you that if you're younger and, you know, you don't need it to sort of replenish all these lost nutrients, then trust me, you don't need it. It's just sort of an extra now. They don't tell you that. They'll tell you need it, you must, but no, it's an extra. It's not something that you definitely need if your skin doesn't require it. your eye cream. Now, eye cream is good because some people don't realise your skin's always aging, remember. So if you start using eye cream at like 18, then trust me, by the time you get older and older, you'll realise the difference. You really will. But also, as you know, it's great for tired eyes, fine lines, puffiness, and dark circles. Milia, it is, but I can't say I can't say if it prevents it or not. Sorry, but I can say that once the milia is there, that it's there, and that's that. You know. Now there is another one that's not on there, and that's neck cream. Again, use neck cream from your sort of 25 upwards. That'll keep your neck firm, and it'll prevent the wrinkles and keep it supple, because a lot of people forget about the neck. The neck is the face too. And obviously your moisturiser, use what's best for you. With natural products like your banana and your milk and your coconut and everything that you've got at home, doesn't matter. It's great for every skin. Just do not use astringent type products like I said products, but remedies. Don't, if you haven't got oily skin, don't use lemon or lime, that's got an astringent property in it, because that's to get rid of the excess sebum in oily skin, and you won't want to be putting it on another skin type. However, we use it morning and night, and as a rule, everything that you've got natural wise, your fruit and your veg and your yogurts, your milk, your oats, it's usually quite versatile and can be used on any. And remember, if it's anti-aging, then go for the honey and mix it with other things, because honey is your tightener. And there you go, it explains it here. Good exercise, good diet, plenty of water, all that gives you healthy skin, and it keeps you healthy on the inside, it keeps you healthy on the outside. But I'm kind of hoping now you see how important our skin actually is. And I know lots of people are probably going to think, well, you wear makeup every day. Do I? Do I? Right. I do not wear foundation. Let me just tell you, okay? I wear tinted moisturizer for the aging process. Completely different. It's much lighter, yet still has coverage. I do obviously wear, it's the eye makeup that I go for. If you actually look, you'll see that it's the eye makeup I go for. So people probably presume I'm putting all this foundation and concealer and layers on my skin. I'm not. I actually use Dermalogica's tinted moisturizer, but I also use Dermalogica, and it's the age primer basically, and it's lovely. It's really nice. You don't have to buy that. You don't have to use that, but I can understand people thinking you're giving this advice that you wear all this makeup. Well, actually, I am a level 3 beauty therapist, which is also mechanical machinery in level 3 beauty therapy. So I would understand that to put foundation on and concealer every day wouldn't be good, regardless whether you're taking it off, and you must take it off. I know people slept in it. I know, because I have when I was younger. Oh my Lord, I have. Now I know what it does to my skin. I never do that, but yes, I have. Of course I have. But yeah, no, I don't do all this, 10 layers of concealer, and then, I don't know, is it primer, then foundation, then powder, then blush, then contour. I do it for other people, special occasions, obviously. Myself, I just use tint and moisturiser. It really is awesome. And slight tint to the primer. So yeah, that, it's the eyes I work on, so I wouldn't put my skin through that daily. It wouldn't be fair on my skin. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this information. I really do. I enjoy giving out the information that I've learned so I can pass it on, and hopefully someone else can get the benefit that I've had. I understand that not everybody's got access to natural things, but honestly, just milk and banana, you can cleanse with it, you can mask with it, I mean, you can bath in it, you know, and it's just a nice thing to have as well, you know, pamper yourself at home. It's nice, it makes you feel good. So, yeah, I hope you did enjoy that, and I hope you can see our skin's actually quite intricate and quite important. So, thank you very much, guys, and blessed be.